Hi, I'm Andre Huey, and welcome to another edition of Insights here on TVC Channel 40. I want to welcome all our viewers watching on TVC Channel 40 on the cable, or if you're watching on our streaming site, tvcplus.live, or on social media. I'm sitting in this week for Laverne Davis. As you know, she's the host of the show, but I'm sitting in for her this week as we have a very special guest and someone who we've been trying to get for months, and we're finally happy that we're able to have him. We're actually right now in the studios of Freedom 106.5, the production studios. And he is the owner of Freedom, the visionary behind Freedom FM. And we're so happy to have him as our guest. None other but Clement Juni Liburd. Juni, welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been trying for a long time.
I know. Things happen, you know.
Yes. But it's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. First of all, Juni, we're going to start with where it all started, where you grew up in St. Kitts Nevis.
Well, for me, it all started in McKnight. I was born...
McKnight again.
Yes.
A lot of guests we spoke to are from McKnight. And, you know, McKnight seems to be like a legendary place.
Right.
Where people are from.
Indeed. Mm-hmm. All the icons come
All the icons come from McKnight.
Yeah. Well, in my case, I was born in McKnight on the 3rd of January 1949.
Mm.
And my mother who previously lived in Antigua, came down to St. Kitts to make a living. She was married to my father, Division Clement Liburd Sr.
Mm-hmm.
And they lived at the village for a while, then moved to McKnight, where I was born. After that, I think the family moved from McKnight. I didn't spend long in McKnight. I think I lived in McKnight for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then they moved to Nevis Street, and then to Dorset, which is where I grew up.
Oh, so you spent most of your childhood in Dorset?
In Dorset.
Yeah.
Now, growing up in McKnight and Dorset and so was very challenging as a youth those days, but enjoyable, because you had a lot of fun. There were lots of things that we didn't have the toys and the technology and all of that to live with and enjoy. We enjoyed each other's company. Mm-hmm. And at nights we find ourselves under the lamppost telling stories about ghosts and goblins and all kinds of stuff. And the childhood was very interesting because we went to the mountainsides like every Saturday. I remember going to the mountain. We had some sheep and goats and so on, which we tied out in the mountainside. And I had to go and bring the sheep back home at nighttime and milk the goats and so on, and sell milk.
Wow.
I remember doing that as a youth, growing up in McKnight.
That's interesting, because you would think that happens in the countryside,
right?
Not in town.
It happened in town, you know. I could recall the first time my mother told me, Juni, we need some milk, go and milk the goats. I go under the house and pick the wrong goat. I picked the wrong goat and it turned around, wheeled, and gave me a butt right down the side of my leg. I had that mark for a long time. I wouldn't mess with goats after that. Right? But very, very interesting going up there. And after that, we, as I said, moved to Nevis Street, where Basseterre, the current Gigi, was born.
Right.
And then we moved to Dorset, where I grew up with playing cricket in Dorset Park, football, going to the beach. That's the thing we did every Saturday, to go to the beach. And the beach was not Frigate Bay, you know. The beach was McKnight, Irish Town
on the
Beach,
Bay Road.
On the Bay Road, and Newtown.
Wow.
Those were the beaches that we lived, not lived, but went to enjoy.
Right.
And I could recall that I had an incident when we had come from the mountainsides. Go there to get your dates, your mango, your guineps, your cherries, your mansiport. We know where to go.
Right.
After a while, you know where to go to get what.
Right.
From mansiport, Mammy Apple, you know you're going Milligan Mountain for that. So we went there. But that particular Saturday afternoon, I think I was about 13, 14. I couldn't swim, but I enjoyed the seawater a lot. And so up to now, I still go to the beach a lot. And I went out with Ozzy Warner. He had a tube, and he was rowing, and I was holding on. And suddenly he said something bit him. And he, you know...
He stopped.
He stopped. He overturned the tube that we were enjoying. And I could recall going under once, twice, and the third time I felt a powerful arm around me. It was a fireman who rescued me, otherwise I wouldn't be here to tell you about it. But the thing that happened to me after that was that by the time I got to Dorset, my father had already got the message that his son almost drowned.
How would he get these news so fast?
And there was no telephones, there was no cell phone those days.
No cell phone, no WhatsApp.
I don't know how he knew, but I saw him at the end of the road with a belt in his hand. So I almost drowned, and I was about to get a whipping. Fatherhood for you.
But but those days though, Juni, as you recount even that what could have been a tragic incident,
Yeah.
there's still so much fun to it in
Yes,
terms of
yes,
talking about that
yes,
childhood.
yes.
I don't think a lot of children today can recount some of these stories.
Right.
You know, the
You don't
childhood is
forget
different
these
now.
things.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's much different. So you grew up in town, so you're a town man.
Yes.
Talk to us now about your school days. So you would have gone to school in Basseterre, I'd assume.
Yes. The Basseterre Boys School was my first school. I didn't go to kindergarten or anything like that. Went straight to Basseterre Boys School. I think I was age 5 or 6 or thereabouts. And went through the whole process of grade standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, come to the whole thing. And I could recall my headmaster at that time was Mr. William Ferdinand Doe, Willie Doe. Famous to
Famous
me.
Willie Doe.
Famous Willie Doe, an outstanding educator, a teacher of class and merit. Big strides when you get schooled by Willie Doe. And there was also some other teachers that I could recall. Juliet Percival. She was awesome. I mean, she taught me fifth form, and she was not only beautiful, but she had depth with the knowledge that she was imparting to us as students.
Right.
One thing I could recall about Willie Doe, I mean, he was a strict disciplinarian. And if you come here to get educated, we ain't come here to play the fool.
Right.
And he made sure that the students understood that. But I could recall that one morning during an assembly, we had assembly where we said prayers, and he would say, clasp hands and close eyes, and the whole school, when he said clasp hands, would clap. He said, look, Monday when you all come here, teachers, pick out just a few of those who are clapping. I will deal with them.
Oh, wow.
So we discussed this as students. Yeah, back the whole school. So we can clap, badly. Really looking things to do, So I could recall, Andre, that Monday when he said class fans, Juni Liburd was the only one who clapped.
They set you up.
Yes. I was out of the whole school. Class fans, solid. Come here, young Liburd. Come here. You think you're bad, huh? Come here. And really they will put a beating on me in front of the whole school.
Oh my Lord. So your friend set you up because you colluded with
I
them.
speak to them for weeks. I said, man, everybody was supposed to clap, and they're laughing at me. It was fun for them, right? But I could recall that incident. But there was, Basseterre Boys School was the foundation of my education. And Willie Doe was, to me, one of the best educators that I've come across. There had others at the school, like Mr. Sutton, and I mentioned Miss Percival, Arthur Williams, Charlie, Teacher Charlie, and so on, all prime-time educators. But head and shoulders above them was William Ferdinand Doe.
And I think that kind of disciplinarian attitude towards education and the approach those teachers had to education was probably the backbone of a lot of the successful people we have in St. Kitts News today.
That's correct, Andre. That's the foundation. And from there, he got us ready for Basseterre High School. That was the next. Basseterre Boys School was a feeder school for the Basseterre High School.
Basseterre High School.
And so I went to Basseterre High School after that and entered the several headmasters there that I could recall, like Mr. Ribeiro, and Mr. Manchester, Victor Jones, quite a few other teachers there. But the one that stood out again at the Basseterre High School was Mr. Eustace Esdale. He now works at UVI. He's an accounts professor. But the thing is, with Eustace, he majored in English at UE. So he jumped from English to accounts, to maths. Just shows the depth of his...
it's very wide range.
But yes, yeah. And...
what were some of your fondest memories at Basseterre High?
Boy, too many. First of all, the house sports. I gravitated to sports, even though I was not such a good athlete. Be frank with you, I like football, cricket, and track and field and so on. But they had a point system which they would go into before the actual sports day itself. So you had houses, red, blue, orange, and so on, accumulating points before the actual day of sports.
Right, pre-sports.
Pre-sports. And I was a big cheerleader. I would go to the
That was your talent. So you
No,
found your talent.
yes. I would go to the people who, for instance, I was in Orange House. I said, you can't afford to lose to these guys, you know. They ain't ready. Y'all ready. We fitter than them. We train hard, so we ready. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Big cheerleader. And I played my role to the hilt. I enjoyed it.
But you
know.
found your niche.
I found my niche and I
you
just
you worked at it.
gravitated to that. Cricket, that I played some cricket, I played some football. Fond memories of playing at the Basseterre High School grounds, because you had a football field, you had cricket, and you had inter-house sports, inter-house cricket, inter-house football. Then you had a tennis in the back, a table tennis in the halls, lawn tennis outside, volleyball. I enjoyed school so much.
So it was very vast.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Again,
it makes you an all-round person as opposed to just academics.
Correct,
You
correct.
got involved in other areas.
Esdale was also one of my teachers. He taught me English literature, and he was quite dramatic. I mean, I think that he lost his calling. He should have been in Hollywood. He should have been in Hollywood. He was that good, and the ladies gravitated to him as well. But he did his job conscientiously and objectively to make sure that we all left with our certificate and that we did well at all levels. One of the things he did also was to introduce drama in the schools.
Well, I was going to ask about that, because if you said that he had that connection, that skill, he probably would have been best teaching drama as well, in theatre arts.
He put on plays by Shakespeare, West Indian writers and so on, and I was one of the actors, you know, in his plays and so on. Henry Brown, Henry Sugumba Brown, Lawyer Brown was there as well. And he made sure that we were well-rounded. We not only did the academics and the sports, but to bring out the cultural thing in us as well. That was key with him. So he was a great teacher. I enjoyed his classes and so on. As I said, he was dramatic, but that was to reinforce points, you know, whatever point you wanted to make. And so I enjoyed him. There was also a teacher named Miss Ross, who taught history, West Indian history. She opened our eyes to African history.
Yeah.
Because when I got to school, we were doing things like European history and Latin.
Yeah, because then those days would have been GCE.
Yes.
So you would have been doing a lot of European stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
We didn't do any African history, hardly any West Indian history, but European history and English history, we got a lot of that. I could tell you everything about England. And don't know anything about the Caribbean.
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah,
she was good with that. Teacher Walwyn, geography. I had Victor Jones teaching me math and Sidney Osborne teaching me math and physics and chemistry and so on. When I left school, I had 6 O-levels and 3 A-levels. That's what I graduated.
All at Basseterre High?
All at Basseterre High. And that set me up now to move when I left school to go on to ZIZ and other things. But I'll tell you some more about Basseterre High School. I mean, it was just the epitome of success as far as I was concerned. Coming out of Basseterre High School and being branded a Basseterre High School man, I was proud to the hilt.
Yeah.
You know, Principia.
It carried a lot of credence.
Yes. And the logo or the motto was principles, not men.
Yeah.
And that has remained with me throughout my lifetime. That has stood me in good stead, as we say. And so, but it was a well-rounded institution, and I ended up teaching there for a while.
Oh, so you're giving back?
Giving back. That was my first job out of school. As they'll say, you better to come here and learn to do some teaching, you know. So I taught Marcella.
Oh, so you taught your own sister.
I taught general paper at 6th form level, which is express yourself, writing about current events and so on. I taught people like Jamie's mom. Who else I could go? Terry Byron.
Wow, interesting. So you
Vincent Byron.
So the same way those teachers laid foundation, you were able to lead foundation to a lot of notable people.
Right. I wasn't much older than them. Right, maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe, or maybe 5 in some cases.
But Mr. Esdale saw something in you.
Right. Right. He saw some leadership qualities, and I'm glad that he did that, because it's funny, I was able to carry that teaching that I learned at the Basseterre High School when I went to live in the States. But that's another story.
Yes, we're going to come to that. Well, at this point, I think it's a good point to take a break. You're watching Insights here on TVC Channel 40. We are speaking to Juni Liburd, the visionary and owner of Freedom FM. And actually, we're in Freedom FM studio doing this interview. We'll be right back after these messages. Your favorite TV shows are just a click away with TVC Plus at tvcplus.live. Stream our 24-hour live programming. Catch the latest episodes of TVC Originals on demand. Enjoy premium pay-per-view content and so much more. Watch on any device, TV, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Visit www.tvcplus.live. Stream, watch, enjoy.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
Good day to the beautiful people of St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Martin News Desk now airs on
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays on TVC
at 11 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. So
make sure to tune in.
It's entertainment TV at its finest. Join us for Main Event, the Caribbean's leading entertainment show only on Television Caribbean TVC. Tune in as our host chats with top artists and entertainers, bring you the latest buzz in entertainment, and showcase the hottest music videos from the region's biggest stars. Main Event airs on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with rebroadcast on Fridays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. When it comes to entertainment, it's always the Main Event on TVC.
And we're back here on Insights here on TVC Channel 40. I'm Andre Huey, your host, sitting in this week for Lavi. She'll be back with you next week. And our guest is none other but Juni Liburd, and we're coming to you from the studios of Freedom FM 106.5 in Basseterre, St. Kitts. Before the break, Juni, you spoke about Basseterre High and the values it laid in your life and helping you to become the man you are today. Before we talk, we're going to talk some more about that, but I have to come back a bit to talk about your mother. Because your mother is a notable figure in St. Kitts and Nevis. One who a lot of people make reference to. In fact, I'll tell you this, and I think I shared this with you. I was in Jamaica recently, and at a function, and someone there, Jamaican, actually told me, when I told him I was living in St. Kitts, he asked me about Ann Liburd, because he knew Ann Liburd because of her influence was so much that it wasn't just limited to St. Kitts Nevis. It was region-wide, so to speak.
True.
But he knew Ann because he used to come here, and because of her prominence, you know, he was one of the persons that he met, and was so captured by her and by the kind of person she was. So it shows how influential she was.
Right.
But talk about your mother and how much of a person she was for you personally and also for the nation at large.
Well, let me start off first with some of the positions she held while working here in St. Kitts and Nevis. First of all, my mother used to travel on bike 5 miles from town to Palmetto Point to teach. Every day she rode a bike from Basseterre to Palmetto Point, 5 miles to teach down there as her job. Tell you that. That shows
dedication.
Dedication, that shows character, that shows discipline. But she was president of CARIWA, the Caribbean Women Association, for over 10 years. She was president of the Labor Women here for many, many years, and she helped women to do things that would enhance their way of life, their finances. For instance, she would teach them how to make different type of cakes, puddings, just about anything that you could sell that was edible. My mother made out of fruits and vegetables and so on. She had those skills, and she got the women interested in that. The women could go on the corner of the street and sell a little something and make a little something. She did that with great success. A lot of people loved her and admired her. But my mother was the source of my success. I mean, she was my everything. It's really hard to put in words how much she meant to me, but she taught me so much. I could recall, for instance, that because I come from a political family, my brother was Minister of Education, Fitzroy Bryan, and my mother was Labour women, and she took a lot of that about. There's a famous board down at Massey's house that she used to write on whatever was going through her mind about politics and so on. And I could recall a certain Prime Minister, when he came into power, told them to take up that board, get rid of that board. Which I thought was kind of petty, but hey, different strokes for different folks,
Right.
you know.
But that was her platform to express herself.
Right. People had a problem with that. But all in all, she, as I said, was my foundation.
Yeah.
She taught me so much when I was in school. And one thing, she made sure that we went to church.
Yeah.
That we went to Sunday school. I would be pilgrim church 5 times a week. And maybe that's why I don't go to church now.
Because you went too much when you were young.
I had a lot of it. But yeah, you know, you go Sunday school in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. You have morning devotion, and then you had night service and so on. And Monday you had young people meeting. Tuesday was testimony. Wednesday was something.
So every day was something.
Every night. No, you don't think you stay home, you know. You go in church. And my father was there to enforce. He was the enforcer.
Yeah.
Make sure that you read church. So we grew up well-schooled, well-educated. Because my mother ensured that we went to school and everything, but also that we were taking on the teachings of Christ.
Strong spiritual background.
Very much so. Morning time. Every morning we had morning devotion in the house. And mother would say, Juni, pray. Mother, I don't know how to pray. I said, pray. And I learned how to pray through my mother teaching me and so on.
Yeah.
But that was, at first I was resentful. And I said, I'm going to kneel down every day. But it proved to be life-saving.
Yeah.
Strengthening to your moral fiber, to your spiritual fiber. And that was the essence of Ann Liburd. I mean, this is what she wanted, is what she got.
Yeah.
I could recall when I had moved to New York for a while, you know, after I left school. My mother came to New York to see me, slept in the same bed with me, because I didn't have any room to put her. But she said, you're my son. And so she made sure that she was there to help me. What are you doing up here? How are things moving with you? She wanted a blow-by-blow account. And I gave her, because you couldn't cut corners with mother. She knew. She knew you. She said, I know you, I bring you into this world. So I know you. You know, and she was right. And so, you know, she had her way of doing things, and she got us to do the same.
Yeah. She set the foundation.
She set the foundation.
Yeah. And she left a legacy for you and your siblings and for the nation at large.
Yes, indeed. That's correct. For St. Kitts and Nevis, you know, everywhere I go today, people still meet me in St. Kitts and say, boy, I miss your mother. I miss your mother. She was a friend to people who needed a friend. People would go to a store. She opened a store on Central Street where people would go in and chat with her, and she would give them hints how to cope with different aspects of life. If the man was treating them bad, they came to my mother for advice, and she was there to comfort and heal the wounds and so on. And you look at that and you say, wow, you know, fantastic, you know, this is what mothers do. And she didn't mind doing it. People would come to the house. And I said, Mother, you ain't tired of all these people who are just walking in? And she said, Juni, leave me alone. Let the people come. God is sending them. That's why I'm here. God is sending them to me for help. So I will help them. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very interesting what moms do.
Yeah.
But Ann Liburd in particular was special because she was there for everybody. Everybody and anybody, no matter what your travail was, no matter what your problem was, no matter what you were going through, she wanted to help. I could recall Andre, politics now, because she was very much into the politics, right? A certain minister used to get up on the pulpit and cuss her, like you don't believe it. As a matter of fact, one time they were having a meeting in Dorset, right next, I could step from my house and hear what was going on. And this minister in the government was saying all kind of nasty things about my mother. And I was in the audience with Henry Brown. Henry was one of my buddies growing up. And when he said what he said, He said, well, I'll tell you. He said, my mother is raising us on the earnings of prostitution. Huh? What he just said? So I grabbed a stone. The meeting was about to come to and the man said, Juni, boy, it's jail work that, you know.
and he's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer now.
So he was preparing himself.
Right that time, right? But what he said was untruth, and it made me uncomfortable. But that same man, the government kicked him out of government at one point. And you know who was the first down government headquarters to say, come here, let me embrace you?
Your mother.
My mother. I said, I was there outside that government headquarters that day. I said, Mother, what are you doing? That's the man that called you a so-and-so. How you could? She said, son, the Bible teaches us to do good to those that abuse us and use us. That just was it right there. That made me just stand still and, you know, if she could have faith and hope in somebody who had maligned her and called all kinds of names, I mean, who am I?
It spoke a lot about her character as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I said that to show you the kind of woman that she was, all embracing to whoever, no matter what political side you were on, she could help you, she would help you. You're down in your luck and you wanted $1, she would give it to you. Wouldn't even think. And if you came for advice, she would give you the best advice that she could give you. So God bless her, and may she continue to rest in peace.
I could see why people say that they miss her to this day.
Right.
Because of the kind of person she was. But it's good to have that foundation.
But my father, no, was a different kind of man. He didn't say much. And like I said, he was more like an enforcer to what came from Mom. Mom says something and you taking too long to do it, lie be coming around to enforce that it was done. But he was also very strong, and he loved us, and we certainly appreciated him being there as our father. We didn't mess with him too much because I'll tell you something. My dad had finished working at ZIZ that day, and I came home, and I heard him sleeping, and some big voluminous snows were emanating. Some big snow was coming from Old Ivy, you know. So being a man, I used to go and tape things, you know, cane fires, and Juni Liburd reporting the cane fire going on here at Dorset Park or wherever the fire was, and Juni Liburd reporting. I was doing it even before I got the job. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, so I came home and I did a little thing, and Daddy snowing. So when we were having dinner, put it down there on the dining table and say, oh, you listen to this. Everybody started laughing. Everybody know that's Old Ivy, you know.
Yeah.
Old Ivy got enraged. And Andre, he gave my face such a slap. Say, are you making a mockery of him? I mean, I thought the fingerprint would be etched on my face forever. You know? I was shocked. I didn't expect that reaction from him. Yeah. But just to show you the kind of man that he was.
Yeah, he was stern.
Stern. Yeah. Disciplinarian. Don't insulting your dad. You disrespecting your dad. And I didn't see it like that. But hey.
That's how he saw it.
That's how he saw it.
Yeah, he felt insulted. So
yeah.
But it was good that you had, because knowing that a lot of people don't have both parents in their lives, the father and the mother, especially the father. The father is not always there.
Right.
The fact that your father was there speaks well of him as a family.
Indeed.
Yeah. So you made the transition now from high school into World of War, but also further studies.
Yes,
so talk to us about that.
Well, before I went to Jamaica, to do my bachelor's degree. But before I went, I'd gone to Jamaica on I think it was a month course at Mona to do some history enrichment classes, compliments. UE, I think they were reaching out to the region. And at that time, there were federal boats, the Federal Palm and the Federal Maple, which was transporting us from here to Jamaica to Barbados, the bigger islands, bigger countries. And so I liked Jamaica. When I went there and I saw what was there, we went to church and everything. It was Tugumba, Henry, myself, Wavell Hodge, and Marcel Foy. Just the four of us, and we had a good time. And it made me want to go back I wanted to go to college. When I saw what the college was all about, so the people who were there at that time, I said, this is for me. I definitely want to do this. So I sat the exam, because you had to sit an exam, even though you had the A-levels. So many people had the A-levels that they were selecting a few, and this was based on the results of exams that you did. I made the cut, and I went to Jamaica and studied a bachelor's degree in English and political science. And passed, did well, and came back and went into teaching and then broadcasting. But at UE, I eventually became the vice president of the Student Guild. President was a guy named Stanley Reed from Barbados, and I was the vice president. And
so you began showing your leadership qualities while at university?
While at university, correct. I lived at Taylor Hall.
The famous Taylor Hall.
Famous Taylor Hall, Hall of Halls. And I won the first ever Mono Calypso King competition. Song called Black Consciousness. Oh Lord, what is this notion that is sweeping the entire Caribbean? Black people discover they black at last. They keep telling I, it ain't no fast. Let us examine quite critically what they say is black pride and identity. Every day they confronting me with the head flat, the sandals and dashiki. But tell me which black man gonna do that to prove they black? Juni say, this blackness is an internal fact. As a race, we too divided. Look around how them Chinese united. I say stop fighting and keeping your brother down, but you living in hope you go overcome. In the day you talking Gavi, but in the night time you whitey. That's verse 1.
What was your calypso name?
King the Homie.
You should have recorded that one, man.
I have it recorded.
Oh, you have it recorded? Okay, we would love to
here.
hear it. Well, we're going to take a break at this point because we're coming up on the final segment, and we're going to talk more about your university life, but also your professional life. You're watching Insights with the big jail, the man himself, Juni Liburd, here as
multifaceted.
Multifaceted. Yeah, calypso. You know he was a calypsonian too. We'll be right back after these messages.
Your favorite TV shows are just a click away with TVC Plus at tvcplus.live. Stream our 24-hour live programming. Catch the latest episodes of TVC Originals on demand. Enjoy premium pay-per-view content and so much more. Watch on any device, TV, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Visit www.tvcplus.live. Stream, watch, enjoy.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
Good day to the beautiful people of St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Martin News Desk now airs on
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays on TVC.
at 11 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. So
Make sure to tune in.
It's entertainment TV at its finest. Join us for Main Event, the Caribbean's leading entertainment show only on Television Caribbean TVC. Tune in as our host chats with top artists and entertainers, bring you the latest buzz in entertainment, and showcase the hottest music videos from the region's biggest stars. Main Event airs on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with rebroadcast on Fridays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. When it comes to entertainment, it's always the Main Event on TVC.
And we're back with the final segment here of Insights here on TVC Channel 40. I'm your host, Andre, who is sitting in for Lavi this week. She'll be back with us next week. And Juni Liburd is our guest, and we've been speaking extensively. He shared about his mother and the impact of his parents on his life, and he was just telling us about his college life and the fact that he was a calypsonian, multifaceted. Did you even know that he was a calypsonian, King the Homie?
King the Homie.
Back then.
Yeah.
And you won that competition. What year was this?
72. to 73.
1973.
Yeah.
So you got your degree, you came back
Yeah.
to St. Kitts, you went into teaching,
Right.
and then you started your broadcasting career. So walk us through how that all happened.
Well, I left Jamaica in 1974, graduated with a bachelor's degree and so on, and I came back here. But I want to tell you, before I touch home base, I was influenced by some very black conscious professors at UE, like Elsa Govaya, Trevor Monroe,
Yes, Trevor Monroe, who's still very active today.
Carl Stone, Norman Govan. There was another guy who wrote a book. I can't remember his name right now, but Eddie Brathwaite from Ghana was there as well. All these touched me because they were my lecturers, and they brought out a desire in me to learn more, to do more for people, to help people. It was like a consciousness when I went to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Sharpened my consciousness. It awoke certain dormant things that I had inside of me that just came out. They were, like the Calypso, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, because that was an era when black consciousness was on the rise.
Yes. I was going to mention that in the 70s, right across the Caribbean, there was a wave of black consciousness going on. And I would assume also that, as you pointed out earlier, that Ms. Ross at high school taught Caribbean history, which was not a thing at the time. So maybe that planted the seeds in you.
Indeed.
And then eventually they were germinated in Jamaica while at school.
Correct.
So go ahead, sorry.
So having left Jamaica, I always referred to Jamaica at that time as my second home. I love Jamaica. I love the people that I met, the friends that I made, and so on. Up to now, some of them are still my friends that I have met at UE.
Yes.
They would call me from time to time on my WhatsApp. Hervin Chung and some other guys, Franz Park, the Bloxy guys and so on. We kept in touch with each other up to now. And I always say, let's have a reunion.
Yes,
you know?
yes,
we need to do that.
definitely.
Most of these guys now would probably be in their 70s.
Yeah.
You know? But I left Jamaica and came back home and I started working at ZIZ. Started working at ZIZ. By then, I was saying that my career would be education and broadcasting because I love teaching. But ZIZ defined that it was the one that was going to take the most sway in my life. I like radio. Like I told you, I used to go out and tape everybody and make up stuff and so on, and the news. And I think I found my calling right there. But so I worked at ZIZ as a DJ in the newsroom, doing whatever I could do, because one of the things that Mr. Osborne, who was the manager, insisted was that we got exposed to everything, all aspects of broadcasting, whether it was the accounts, the books, the finance, the shows, the outside broadcasts, the news. Get involved. If somebody was out in accounts, Ms. Juni, go and sit in and get some accounts in your system right now because you need that. Because that is where the money comes from, and you need to learn how to do that as well. And so I didn't mind doing it. At first I resented, because to me sometimes you finish working on air, then you have to go and do off your work.
Yeah.
But, you know, it helped to mold me, strengthen me and so on. So I did ZIZ for a while. And then I did some work on Van Radio, because when I came back from UE, I couldn't get a job at first, you know, because I wasn't, the people saw politics at the time, and I couldn't get a job. And the manager of Van Radio, Mr. Everett Weber Herbert, called me one morning and said, "You want something to do? I mean, I see you struggling," and so on. He said, "Well, come Nevis, have an apartment here." And I wanted to help Van Radio. I went, and I did my work over there and came down here on the weekends. I got good exposure from that.
Yeah. So you started at Van before ZIZ, or?
I went to, I went to ZIZ. I went to Van Radio first.
Right.
And then when the government changed, I more or less settled into a role at ZIZ, eventually becoming the general manager. And up to now, I'm told that while I was at ZIZ, it's the most money that came in because my marketing skills that I had honed
Wow.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it was a key time to make the bread.
So you get a lot of experience there. Apart from on-air experience, you also were able to get some administrative and managerial experience, which was important.
Yes, that was very critical.
Yeah.
You can't run a radio station and love.
Yeah. No, there's a lot more to it.
There's a lot. You know.
There's a lot more to it. Yeah.
Andrew.
So, so during that era, when did it occur to you that you needed to open your own radio station?
Well, I'd worked at, while I was in New York, I did some work at WLIB. And I understand that they had a job for me, but certain Jamaicans acting in collusion prevented the small island guy from getting a big job.
There's always that fight.
There's always that fight. Yeah.
Even to this day.
Yeah, correct. So, but I didn't really take that on. And after I left Van Radio, I came back home here and did some work on ZIZ for a while. And then...
so it was after Von and Ziz that you took a chance in the US?
Yes.
Yes, and you got some additional experience.
Got some additional experience.
Right, and then you came back
The
home.
funny thing is, while I was in the States doing that, I went back into teaching.
Oh.
I couldn't get no job on the radio, no way up there. So I taught at PS 304, PS 21, Adelphi Academy, Gilbert School. These are schools that I taught, you know, in the Brooklyn and so on, in New York metropolitan area. And I enjoyed it. Because it was something new for me to be dealing with American students. You know, they ain't easy.
Different from Caribbean students, for sure.
Yeah, there were some Caribbean students there as well. So that took place. But after, I just kept getting this feeling. I kept dreaming. Maybe God was implanting in me that vision then, that you need to go back home. You need to go back home. I kept seeing myself in a studio. That was a recurrent dream that I had. And that was God's way of telling me, okay, ready for you to take up, you know, to go back home, to take up the attention of doing your own back home. So I left. You know, I came during a Christmas period where the temperature was -3 degrees. And I kept asking myself, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Everybody home in a t-shirt jumping up for carnival. And you here?
In cold, in ice.
Exactly. So I acquired a piece of property in Boyd's, and I said, look, you know, start building something. And I did that. So by the time I was ready to leave New York, I moved straight into the house that I had built. And that was so refreshing to have your own roof over your head, rather than somebody else's. So I came back home and worked again on radio, at ZIZ in particular. And as I said, taking it all the way to being the general manager. And did some work on Sugar City Rock. Worked there for a while. And then one day my mother said to me, come here, sit down there. Why are you continuing to make money for other people? You don't want to work for yourself. Charity begins at home. You went here, you went there, you're helping everybody and so on. What, you don't think you have the talent and the skill to do your own thing? That resonated. I remember the time my mother, when I was age 40, sat me down similarly and said, well, you ain't plan to build nothing in St. Kitts. We can pass on, you know, as your parents. Blessed is the child who got his own. And she bring up scriptures to me and everything to say, get your act together, brother, you know. So she was instrumental there again, saying, you know, Juni, open your own radio station. So I applied. I was at Sugar City at the time, and I applied, and I was successful. But while at Sugar City was like a part-time work, because I was working at that time at SKNIS as the director down there. And then I got kicked out of SKNIS by a well-known gentleman. He said, you know, you need to resign. I mean, this is what a board director used to come and tell me, you know.
Really?
you need to resign. In spite of what I was doing. I said, but my work proves that I'm doing a good job. Yeah, but I had a feeling he didn't like me, to be honest with you, for some reason. And you don't know what it is. Because other people were complimenting me on the work that I was doing in putting the government's work on ZIZ. Daily, SKNIS presents, produced by Juni Liburd. But I got kicked out, and I think that was God's way of telling me, it's time for you to move on now.
I was actually just going to say that. That's a blessing in disguise.
In disguise.
Yes, because you probably wouldn't have made the move.
Up to this day, when I see that gentleman, I thank him. I say, it's because of you that freedom is open.
Yep.
I said, that's a fact. It's because of you.
Yep.
So we opened Freedom 15 years ago now, and we have not regretted it, and we have not looked back.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah.
And I guess also when you started, there were probably people saying, well, it's about time, because of all the work you've done in radio here in St. Kitts Nevis. You were a well-known voice by that time.
Right.
You were an established personality by that time.
Right.
So I guess people were just looking for the next step, and Freedom FM was the next step.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
How has the journey been for the past 15 years?
It has been good and bad, but more good than bad. We've had some trials and tribulations with transmitters. The technical side of it has been hard. But the fact that we've had the same resources in terms of personnel over those past 15 years, they're still here today. And that says something about your leadership, says something about your strength, your vision. And I thank them, each and every one of them, Sister Sincere, EK, Sugar Bowl, Wrench, DJ Right Hand, they're still here. And that tells me that, you know, and I try to make sure that they are well looked after in terms of their salaries, their payments, their bonuses, their holidays. You know, if they want to go out and do other jobs while they're here, I don't have a problem with it, because that's another way for them to look after their families. And it's just a night, so it won't hurt you. So we work around those problems and we find solutions that would impact everybody in a positive way. You know, so I don't regret it at all. But the journey has been good. I enjoyed it, most of it so far, so good. More and more now I'm taking time out of the job to make myself happy, to go and do other things, to travel, to go to the beach, to go hiking, to go here, to go there, because I'm getting older now. And so I passed on the mantle of leadership to people like, say, Jamie and Clive and so on. They do things that I would have normally done, and I find time to stay home and sleep.
Which is good.
Which is good, exactly, you know.
Yeah, because you're at that time now, at that age now where you really want to slow down and take it.
Exactly.
You've laid the foundation.
That's correct.
The foundation is always the hardest part.
Right.
It's always the hardest part. I think it was 2023, you were awarded, given a national award, Star of Merit, I believe it is.
That's correct.
For your work in broadcasting.
That's correct.
How does that make you feel? Because you're
Proud.
considered by many, including myself, as a legend in broadcasting here in St. Kitts Nevis.
Made me feel proud to see the respect that people, and the praise and the adulations that people were showering on me. At first I felt that I didn't deserve it. When I look back at the work that I've put in, they say, yeah man, you deserve it. You worked hard.
Of course.
And so I thank the government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for showering me with the accolades everywhere I go, whether it's at the beach or walking around town. People say, icon, or legend, and I'm getting my flowers while I'm still alive.
Yes.
So I like that very much. Keep it up. It makes me feel good.
Yeah. Of course. Broadcasting here in St. Kitts Nevis, you've been around. As I told you before we started the interview, you're like the elder statesman of broadcasting here in St. Kitts Nevis.
Right.
How do you see the profession, radio, mostly radio, here in St. Kitts Nevis? How it has grown over the years, and what's the state of it in your eyes?
There's still a lot of work to be done in broadcasting, in radio in particular. I think people use, especially politicians, they use the radio for their own benefits, for the wrong reason, to score points, political points and so on, and that's not what the radio is for. Radio is for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. So you find it now that people who call into the radio station and so on, you could hear it in what they say, that they put in the politicians' agenda up front instead of their agenda. What they're going through, they're not transmitting that, they're not translating that They're more looking at what this politician say and that politician say, and they're trying to score points on behalf of the politicians. I said, done with that.
Yeah.
Score the points for yourself. We want to see people being helped by radio.
And
not
radio
hurt.
is an opportunity for their voice. Just back in the day, as you talked about your mom using the blackboard, now that has been replaced by radio. Radio is now the platform that people have to express themselves. So you're saying people should use that more for themselves as opposed to for the politicians.
Right.
Also, and even as I talk about that, I know one of the most, if not the most popular talk show right now is Issues on radio. But it must not have been easy to get to that stage, because talk shows tend to get a lot of flack from the authorities,
Well, I'll tell you
especially
something.
when it's not in their favor.
I'll tell you something. Correct. I'll tell you something. When we first started doing Issues, the people who used to come up here most were so-called PAM people, you know. And I could recall when the people used to see these PAM politicians parading up here day after day, I was shut out from non-government headquarters. A lady in particular would see me and say, "You? No come up here." I said, "Why?" She said, "With all them PAM people you got on the radio there, were you coming up here for? Nobody up here want to talk to you." But that is how they took it, and I laughed. And I went over and I said to us, "You have this so wrong. You know, the radio is for you to help you. I can't tell which politician to come. Radio is my business. That's how I make a living.
Yes.
So once somebody has the money and so on, I have the time for them. As long as they're not going to slander, and we've been to courts.
Yes,
Politicians have taken us to court for broadcasting things that other people have said, not something that we have said. And so we've been through all of that. And so the radio has now broken through that barrier of political, how to call it, tribalism.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. And radio is a fount for democracy. It is a springboard to democracy. And until we realize that and recognize that, we're going to be forever caught in a trap.
Yeah.
A revolving trap that goes nowhere. We have to speed up the access to promote democracy and good governance here in this country, and that's what radio can do.
And radio can help do that. You know, interestingly, you've seen, and you've been in the business for 15 years, well, having your own business, that is, but you've been in for much longer than that, and you would have seen the advent of new technology coming in, new forms of media coming in, but yet radio still somehow just managed to remain the prominent, here in St. Kitts Nevis especially, remains the more prominent platform. Why do you think that is so? Because we have social media, we have digital platform, we have, you know, different aspects of the technology and media, but still radio remains prominent.
Radio is a powerful tool to disseminate information. You could do it on Facebook and Instagram, but you don't hear it the way you hear it on the radio.
Right.
It's a different vibe. You know, technology is there with all its affluences and all its innovations and so on, but radio is there for the people. You know, and you can't go and turn on YouTube on your radio. People still love radio. They're attached to radio.
Yeah.
Radio is fundamental to the broadcasting growth and development of a country, of people, of democracy. Who else can do that?
Yeah.
Who else can do that, Andre?
Not the one, no, nothing else.
Exactly. So radio will be here forever.
Yeah.
Radio will be here forever.
And
you will see improvements and
and of course you're using the technology too, because
Exactly.
you're also streaming on social media. You have an app as well, so people can listen on the app.
Exactly.
So you're moving along with the times, but you're
Right.
still maintaining
The base.
the base and the
Yes.
foundation of radio.
Correct.
We're out of time, so I'm just
Okay.
going to give you the final words. Even as you look back at your life, and it was a very interesting story, as you look back at your life, and even at your current age, where do you see yourself? Where
What
do you see
age you
freedom?
talking about? What age you talking about, Andre? Age is just a number.
It's just a number. So you're
Just a
still
number.
thinking ahead
Still
of.
thinking.
So what's next for Juni Liburd?
That's a good question. That's the most powerful question you asked in the morning. Next for Juni Liburd is to see my family get better and get closer to each other. I think family is important. I'm a family man. I have 8 children. and I want to see each of them. I want to leave a legacy where one or two of them can come into radio.
Mm-hmm.
Because like anybody else who has a business,
Yeah.
you want to see your children developing it. As long as they have a mind for it, they will succeed.
Yep.
I want to go and enjoy the world. Never been to Africa.
Mm.
And I'm an Afro-conscious person, so I would like to go to Africa, visit Africa, the homeland, the motherland.
Mm-hmm.
Just to touch down on the soil, it would bring tears of joy of having successfully done something.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter which country. You just want to be on the continent.
Just want to be on the continent.
Yeah. Well, we might have that soon. We might soon have direct flights from Africa to
That would be great.
So.
I'll be on one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but basically, I just want to enjoy my life now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've put in a lot of time and effort into what I've done over the years, and it's time now to enjoy and reap the benefits of what you have done. You've laid the foundation, so enjoy it. So that's what I want to be doing, traveling, enjoying life, enjoying people, seeing my family grow and develop more, and love the common people that exists and pervades right down to my soul.
And I'm sure that's what your mom would want.
That's correct. It's funny. I still think about her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I can feel her power, her spirit near to me, guiding me, telling me, do this, do that.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel it.
Yeah.
Even though she has gone for some 20 years now.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Juni, thank you so much for taking this. This was a very interesting conversation.
Thank you.
And I must say personally myself that you're an inspiration to me as well, being someone in the
You're an
media.
inspiration to me, Andrew.
Well, we inspire each other, I guess.
I'm going to get into some of the things that you do. Like your dose of hush, right?
You're a real inspiration.
Thank you.
You're a real
Thank you.
inspiration.
Thank you, Andrew.
And I want to thank you for, and of course the nation has thanked you with the award that you won, and they continue to thank you every day.
Right.
And keep on doing what you're doing, because
you.
you're inspiring many people here in St. Kitts Nevis.
Andrew, it's my pleasure.
Definitely.
God bless you, man.
God bless.
Thank you.
And thank you, the viewers, for watching Insights. I'm Andre Huey. I was your host. Juni Liburd was our guest. Lavi will be back with you next week here on Insights on TVC Channel 40. For all of us here at TVC Channel 40, I want to thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. Keep watching Television Caribbean.